Yes, my people, it's your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. And just like that, I'm back with another one. So, guys, the WBO have ordered undisputed champion Oleksandr Usyk to fight his mandatory Joseph Parker. That news is coming from the WBO just today. Now, listen, I'm going to keep it real. I'm happy for the big Uso, Joseph Parker. It's long overdue. He's been waiting for his turn. Do you know what I mean? He's been waiting patiently for his turn. He's paid his dues. You know what I mean? He's gone through some wars. He's fought some tough opponents. Wilder, Zhilei Zhang, Martin Barcole, to get to the position that he is now. So I'm really happy for him. You know me, I've been backing the boy Joseph Parker to get his title fight for the longest. And I think as well, like just everyone in general, boxing fans, ex-fighters, you know, active fighters, pundits, analysts, like basically the whole boxing community, everyone, yeah, is absolutely in agreement that Joseph Parker deserves a title shot next. And this news coming out from the WBO is good news for Joseph Parker. I'm sure wherever he is right now, he's happy. Do you know what I mean? He's finally going to get a title shot. The only thing is, yeah, and I'm going to keep it real. You know me, I'm Enzo, the realest in the game. I don't think Oleksandr Usyk is interested in fighting Joseph Parker at this moment of time. Now, I'm not saying Oleksandr Usyk is not interested in fighting Joseph Parker because he's scared of Joseph Parker or he's trying to duck Joseph Parker. Of course not. Oleksandr Usyk is arguably the greatest fighter of this era, and he will go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time. But Usyk is looking for the big money fights. You know, even after his win over Daniel Dubois in the post-fight interview with Ade Oladipo, where he was asked, who do you want to fight next? I mean, Usyk was asking the crowd, you know, about Fury. If he wants to fight, you know, should he fight Fury? Should he fight AJ? Should he fight Derek Chisora? I mean, Parker's name came last. You know, Usyk was kind of like forced, you know, to say Parker's name. Because I noticed when I was watching the video, it was Usyk's manager or someone from his team whispered in Usyk's ears telling him, yo, say Joseph Parker's name. Usyk himself did not even think about Joseph Parker. He didn't want to say Joseph Parker's name. It's only when someone from his team told him, yo, say Joseph Parker, that's when he mentioned Joseph Parker's name, reluctantly. Do you know what I mean? He didn't really want to say. So it just shows me like Usyk is not interested in a Parker fight. Usyk wants a big money fight. He wants a Fury, which nobody wants to see, but I reckon Usyk is going to find a way to get that Fury trilogy. He even mentioned Anthony Joshua. I think Oleksandr Usyk will entertain an Anthony Joshua fight. So I don't think Joseph Parker is high on the list for Oleksandr Usyk to fight next. Even though he's the mandatory for the WBO, I can see Oleksandr Usyk vacating the title, the WBO title, and Parker will probably have to fight someone like a Kabayao or Derek Chisora or even Mo Saitoma, because as Parker is the mandatory, I think the next one in line is actually Mo Saitoma. So if Mo Saitoma comes through Dillian Whyte on the 16th of August, we could see Mo Saitoma versus Joseph Parker probably at the end of this year in December, Rhea season card. Both guys scrapping it for the WBO title. That would be very interesting. You know, Atoma being a young guy, he's fast, he's got, you know, he's got the speed, accuracy, he's a southpaw, he's very dangerous. But we haven't seen him tested it, so we're gonna have to see what happens between Itoma and Dillian Whyte. But obviously, Joseph Parker having the experience, he's a former world champion, he's in a great winning streak himself. He's beat some tough opponents. So if Mo Saitoma wants to fight Joseph Parker, you know, Joseph Parker will be the favorite to win that fight just based on his experience and the level of opponent that he's faced. So I'll make Joseph Parker favorite in that fight. Oh, Joseph Parker might fight Derek Chisora. So whatever happens from this, because the order has been made for a mandatory challenge defense of the WBO title, I think Joseph Parker is definitely 100% getting the title fight, and this is what he's been chasing for the longest. He's just not gonna fight Oleksandr Usyk. That is what I believe. That is what I think is gonna happen. Usyk will vacate the title, and I know Joseph Parker after the fight, Dubois versus Usyk, he got in a ring. He wants to fight Oleksandr Usyk. You know, Joseph Parker believes that he has the capabilities, he has the tools to give Oleksandr Usyk all sorts of problems. And I also believe that. I'm not saying that Joseph Parker beats Oleksandr Usyk. I'm a Joseph Parker fan. I like the guy, but I think, you know, from what we've seen from Oleksandr Usyk, like, we can't doubt Oleksandr Usyk. We can't go against Oleksandr Usyk, not after the greatness he's just achieved, the history he's just made. So I think, like, whoever fights Oleksandr Usyk, they're always going to be the underdog, and that's no different for Joseph Parker. He's going to be the underdog if he was to ever fight Oleksandr Usyk. But has Joseph Parker got the skill set and the tools to give Oleksandr Usyk some problem? Of course. You know, one, they're kind of the same height. Usyk is used to fighting these big, lumpy heavyweights who are slow on their feet, flat-footed. Joseph Parker is a good mover. He's got speed, and he throws, you know, punches in combinations. So that would be something new. You know, Joseph Parker will give Oleksandr Usyk some different problems in that ring if they were ever to fight. And I would love to see that fight. Trust me, I would love to see that matchup, because styles make fights. Remember, it should have actually been Joseph Parker in that ring at Wembley last weekend. If Dubois didn't duck Parker, I think Parker would have beat Dubois. You know, he would have beat Dubois, and he would have fought for the Undisputed against Oleksandr Usyk, and you never know, we might have had a different fight. Again, I'm not saying Joseph Parker would have won the fight, would have beat Oleksandr Usyk, of course not, because Usyk is an all-time great, but he would have gave Oleksandr Usyk different problems. You know, he probably would have been more competitive than what Danny Dubois turned out to be at Wembley last weekend. So for Joseph Parker, I know the warrior in him. He wants to test himself against Oleksandr Usyk. Unfortunately, the way boxing politics go and everything, he's not going to get the Usyk fight. I don't think so. I don't think Oleksandr Usyk has the appetite for it. Oleksandr Usyk has probably one more big fight left in his career, and I think he's going to go for Fury, Anthony Joshua, one of them. I know boxing fans at home and the boxing community overall don't want to hear things like that, but unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. You know, this is the world that we live in. And also for Joseph Parker, it's all about perception. You know, what goes against Joseph Parker is the perception. And unfortunately, perception can sometimes override the truth. You know, sometimes people believe in perception rather than the truth. And with Joseph Parker, a lot of boxing fans and even promoters, I don't know why, but they don't believe in Joseph Parker's sell, you know, his pool, his marketability. They don't think Joseph Parker can sell enough tickets. They don't think Joseph Parker can sell the pay-per-views. They don't think Joseph Parker can gather the interest, you know, to make a fight big, especially when you're fighting someone like Oleksandr Usyk, which is unfortunate. I don't know why they think that, but that is the perception. Unfortunately, once a perception gets hold of you, a perception is like a jacket. And once you wear that jacket and people see you with it, it's like, yo, you know, everyone thinks that's the truth. But Joseph Parker has sold good pay-per-view numbers in the past with Anthony Joshua. They did 1.83 million pay-per-view buys, you know, which is actually the record in the history of British boxing. So Joseph Parker can sell tickets, especially in the UK. He's got a good fan base, you know, but unfortunately, the people that have the power, the people that can make decisions, the people that can fund the fight, someone like a Turkey Al-Sheikh, you know, he's already, unfortunately, from what I'm hearing, he's not interested in the Joseph Parker versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. He tweeted straight after the Danny Dubois Usyk fight last weekend. He tweeted he wants Mo Saitoma versus Oleksandr Usyk. You know, he completely ignored Joseph Parker. So Turkey Al-Sheikh has all the power. He's got the money. He funds it. You know, he's the one that's paying everybody. And if he's not interested in the fight, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it's most likely not going to happen. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, because for me, boxing should be about meritocracy. The guy that's next in line, the guy that's putting the work, that deserve that title shot against the champion. But listen, it's boxing politics. I don't like it. You don't like it. But it just goes like that. But the most important thing is, for Joseph Parker, he's going to get a title shot. Yeah, whoever he fights, Usyk, Chisora, Mo Saitoma, Kabayao, it doesn't matter who he fights. He's going to get the opportunity to go in that ring, win a title, and become 2 times heavyweight champion of the world. And I know that's his dream. You know, he's been chasing that. He's 33 years of age right now, and he's not getting any younger. So to get another crack at a title and to win that belt, take it back to New Zealand, that would be big for the big Uso. Do you know what I mean? So all the best to Joseph Parker. I really hope he can get the Usyk fight, but I don't think he's going to get it. But yeah, man, that's the breaking news for today. The WBO has ordered Joseph Parker and Oleksandr Usyk to scrap it out for all the marbles, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Usyk will vacate or relinquish their WBO title, so Joseph Parker will have to fight someone else. Kabayao, I think that's a good fight. Make it happen. Once again, my people, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. It's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. Please drop your comments. Let me know what you think about this news from the WBO ordering Oleksandr Usyk to fight Joseph Parker. Do you think Joseph Parker will fight against Oleksandr Usyk or someone else? Let me know in the comments. I'll really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You're going to help us to grow. I'll see you again with another one real soon. Until then, stay blessed, my people. Peace.